Chat, I have a treat for you. Because you deserve it. You deserve it, chat. We just hit 11,000 followers on Twitch. That's delightful. If you're not a follower, you should follow. Okay? Good times here on Twitch. We have a very special, we have a 3-way death match, okay? 3 ways, okay? Lord of Cringe, okay? Reacting to PragerU. Me reacting to those two. Which one of us will win? Which one of us? My money's on me. Look at this. Look at this glorious, glorious shit. You will follow me into the dark. Good, because that's where we're going. We're going to the deepest doldrums of the cave of Dave's mind. I'm ready.
Why are so many young people unhappy?
Maybe a good place to start would be a bunch of boomers like you. You learning to shut the fuck up and let the young people live their lives as they see fit.
Whoa! Based Dave? Is Dave based? Spoilers, he's not based. He's not based. But we could celebrate this. We could celebrate this freedom thing that he just said. I'm with that. I'm in general okay with that. Here we go, though. It's not gonna. You're gonna. Yeah, we'll see. I got a lot to argue with in this video. Oh. Okay. All right. Lord of It's got a lot of fancy stuff going on there. All righty. Okay.
To cite just one example, Reuters reported in 2019 that suicidal thinking, severe depression, and rates of self-injury among U.S. college students more than doubled over less than a decade.
Interesting. Suicidal thinking, severe depression, and self-injury among U.S. college students has more than doubled over the last decade. Chat, do you have any idea why that may be? You have any idea why that may be? Could it be because you have been stamped down by the stagnation of wages in an increasingly expensive economy under capitalism, where you have very few avenues of retreat from things like sickness, disease, from things like economic strife, hunger, personal space, mental health. Have you thought maybe that could be any of that? No, definitely not. Definitely couldn't be that. Can we do a legitimate fundraiser to get Dave so new and more age-appropriate shirts? No. That's his style, okay? Because blue hair dye has calmed my brain. Yes, that's true. That's true. Let's see what Dave and Dave have to say. Actually, Dave and Dennis. It's Dennis.
And unhappiness is hardly confined to Americans. As the social commentator Kay Heimowitz recently wrote, Germans are lonely, the bon vivant French are lonely, and even the Scandinavians are lonely.
Oh, wow.
The British Prime Minister recently appointed a Minister of Loneliness. Mm-hmm. People have more money.
No, they don't.
Better health, better housing, more education, and live longer.
None of this is true. These things are not true. People do not have more money. Money is relative. You have to have Spike Bob. You have to have money relative to the cost of living. You do not have more money relative to the cost of living, chat. You have less of it. You do not have expanded access to health care. It has literally been limited by the Trump administration. It has literally been limited to you. Housing costs have not gotten cheaper. They have, in fact, gotten more expensive. And education costs have done the same. None of this is true. Not one of it.
Than at any time in history. But people, especially the young, are unhappier than at any time since data began to be collected.
What a shocker. What a fucking shock. Hey, have you considered, Dennis, listening to the people that are in that group that are saying they're unhappy and then asking them, why are you unhappy? Have you considered asking? No, couldn't be me.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Europe because I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. I'll just speak and give a theory as to why American young people are miserable.
This is the part where Dave is going to say something stupid, and I'm going to have to salvage him. It's sad. It's sad. I love you, Dave. You need help. Come on over to the corn side, my friend. We got clocks that work. We got snackies that are delicious. And we drink beer that's better than Coors Light. I mean, literally everything's better over here. Because feminism, I guess we'll see. What's it going to be? What's going to be, chat? Get your bingo cards ready.
Now, it's not any one thing, although the boomers driving up the prices of homes certainly didn't help anything.
Correct on that. Definitely correct on that.
However, maybe it has something to do with the fact that around the time of about 3, when a child enters preschool, he is basically given a participation trophy for wiping his ass right.
Okay. All right. Okay. You can't be inoculated against unhappiness, Dave. You can't be inoculated against unhappiness. And what I mean by that is being shitty to kids so that they expect shittiness in their life moving forward is not a cure to shittiness. It's normalizing shittiness. Do you understand? Wouldn't it be better to make the shittiness mitigated and give children the tools to cope with shittiness rather than what you do, which is self-medicate with shitty beer and yell with a bad mic on the internet? Like, surely you can introspect and understand that you, Dave, do not have the tools to process bad news. Like, yeah. When bad news happens to you, you get yelly. You just yell. That's not a coping mechanism that should be viable, Dave. We shouldn't... Look, giving kids participation trophies is good, and I'll tell you why. What you do is you establish a baseline of self-worth in a child, and they will have the standard. They will know the standards to which not only, and this is more important, not to them, okay? They'll know their standards of like what I expect out of decency of other human beings, okay? But more than that, they'll understand, they'll learn empathy, because they'll learn that if something makes me feel good, acknowledging someone's attempt at a thing, even if they fail, acknowledging someone's fallibility as a good thing, not as a bug in the system, but a feature. Fallibility is a feature of human experience, and understanding that, look, you tried. As long as you're trying to succeed at something that you care about, as long as you care about it, if you fail, that's okay. It's okay to fail. I know that Dave is, and we've talked about this, I've psychoanalyzed your ass, Dave. You literally take the position of, I don't give a fuck, because if you do take a hard stance on something, you could be wrong, and that would feel bad to you. And I don't want to make fun of you for that, because I understand that could be rough. The joke is boomers started participation trophies because they got butthurt that Charles wasn't the best. It's more than that. It's way more than that. It's what it is, really, is you're scared to fail. Dave, it's okay to fail. It's fine. I want you to fail. And I don't mean that in a shitty way. I mean in a way that, like, makes you go, holy shit, that wasn't so bad. I can do that. Like, that's why I really value things like sports for children growing up, or any sort of competitive anything, whether it's you know, as long as there's someone there that can counsel that sort of process. I really value. I really want to coach basketball for this reason. People need to learn how to lose, and that doesn't mean teach them shitty. Like, don't give them participation trophies. You can give participation trophies and teach people how to lose at the same time. Because that's the experience. Have self-integrity. Have this idea of self-worth and self-value and this image of yourself. But also, the version of that person that loses at something isn't bad. It's the same person. That's how we teach. That's how we grow. It's not fucking participation trophies, dude, that are making the world sadder. The world's sad because we don't have empathy for one another.
Then, once he gets into the real world that doesn't give a fuck and is not going to shower him with accolades and trophies and everything he wants, well, he has a hard time accepting that.
Okay, so what I just said is the answer to the question isn't like resigning yourself to understanding that, like, oh, the world is shitty. People are just shitty. Don't resign yourself to that. Instead, spread the cultural idea of empathy. This is a generational problem because boomers are and we grew up, Dave, with boomer parents. And they grew up in the greatest generation who felt very superior to everyone because they won a world war. And they had this economic boom because everybody else was poor, so they were the rich ones. And now we're getting to this point where America is equalizing with all these other countries, and we have shitty standards of living because we chose not to give a shit about our fellow Americans, about fellow people, regardless of American citizenship. We can change this, and we will.
Maybe it's time we stop coddling kids their entire fucking childhood.
He didn't fix the clocks, man, dude. You're absolutely blind. You sure? You sure? Maybe you're right. I just can't see this one. Wait. You might be right. I might be blind. Wait, what is this, though? Minneapolis? No, he's still wrong. He fixed, like, 3 other clocks. Anyway.
Maybe that would help.
Why?
I'm going to take a wild shot in the dark at this. I haven't seen this entire video, but why do I think you're going to loop it around to God at some point?
I think he's probably going to do that too,
There are any
Dave.
number of reasons. Increased drug and opioid
Lack of families. Get married.
addiction, less human interaction.
Okay, what do you think opioid addiction stems from, Dennis Prager? Opioid addiction stems from a bad healthcare system that incentivizes doctors to make money off of prescribing highly addictive opioids to people that are unequipped to take them. It's a fucking gambit by what you consider private healthcare, you fucking fool.
Because of constant cell phone use.
Wait, their human interaction goes down because of cell phone use? There is no more connected individual than someone who talks to people on their cell phone use. Imagine saying cell phone. Ugh. I have friends all over the world, genuine friends all over the world because of these stupid fucking devices and social media. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, Dave? Having an in-person conversation is fantastic. I love my friends in person. But they're not lesser friends because they're not in the room with me. He's just a boomer. Yeah, losing means you're bad. Shit, yeah, I agree, Podium Squid. Totally agree.
And young people's fears for their future are the most widely offered explanations.
Oh, the fears for their future. Interesting, Dennis. Interesting. Why do you think they have fears for their future? Is it because that people like you don't address wages, jobs, healthcare, education, housing, or fucking climate change? You think they might be worried about their futures when the people in charge are like, none of that shit matters. Fuck you. Lock her up. MAGA 2020. Like that your politics are fuck you. Wow. Surprising. It doesn't inspire a lot of hope. Is that a bong? I don't know.
Bitch, bitch, bitch.
But the biggest reason is the loss of values and meaning. Let's begin with values, and I'll focus on America.
Right, Cascadian?
The United States was founded on two sets of values, Judeo-Christian and American.
Oh! When I went to the hospital after a car accident, the doctor asked me if I needed pain meds. They said they could give me the good stuff. Made me so uncomfortable. Bootstraps, where are my bootstraps?
Called it.
Called it.
American values and Judeo-Christian values are at complete odds with one another. That's why we never have been nor will be a Christian nation.
Dave, let's give a big fucking high five. Let's do it, brother. Look at you. Oh, it's coming off screen. Dave's off screen. Just barely off screen. Can't see him. High five, Dave. Good job, buddy. Good job. See, you can do it. You can be correct about stuff. You're a good boy. I love you. I'm going to give you a participation trophy. We're going to make Dave a participation trophy after this, okay? Because he participated, goddammit.
Chief among the American values was keeping government as small as possible.
Nope.
This enabled non-governmental institutions, Kiwanis, Rotary and Lions clubs, book clubs, the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, bowling leagues, music societies, and of course churches, to provide Americans with friends and to provide the neediest Americans with help.
No. God fucking damn it. Do you want to read this real quick, chat? Let me pull this fucking Constitution bullshit out. Yet again, every single time I gotta read this shit. Constitution of the United States. America was founded on American values, you know, the values of the country that hadn't been founded yet. True. All right, let's see if they mention anything in Article 1 about small government. Phosphophile, thanks for giving one to Genjack. Appreciate it. We, the people of the United States, in order to perform a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Bowl a strike, never be sad again. There you go. Section 1, Article 1, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in the Congress of the United States, which will have consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. House of Representatives should be chosen every second year. Should be people, blah, 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 blah. 25, it just says the recommendations for the representatives. Section 3, the Senate shall be blah, 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 blah. You guys know that. The Vice President, blah, blah, blah. Senate, blah, blah, blah. Section 4, the times, place, and manner of holding elections for senators. You don't care about that. I'm not seeing much small government here. Each house should be the judge. No small government. Section 6, the senators and representatives shall receive a compensation. Okay, no. Section 8, the Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes. No. Wait. I'm sorry. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excise to pay. Wait. How? Interesting. It's interesting. Have libertarians never read Article 1, Section 8? That the Congress has the power to collect taxes? I thought taxes were theft. That's very interesting. And they're constitutionalists. It's very, very weird that they... Okay, so I'm not seeing small anything. You can also build forts, arsenals, dockyards, and other buildings. Okay. The migration or importation of such a persons of any states now existing... shall think proper to admit shall not be prohibited by the Congress prior to... Okay. No bill of attainder. Okay, you don't care about that. Weird. Executive power in Article 2. I am still not to the part where it says small government, and I fear that I'll never reach it. Judicial powers in Article 3. Okay. All right. Okay. Article 3, Section 3. Article 4. Full faith and credit shall be given to each state. No. In every other state, Congress shall be general. No. Citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens of the several states. Okay, so this is just that states exist. New states may be admitted to the Congress of this union, but no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state. True. So you can't have like the Free State of Jones, which is in Texas. You can't or type Mississippi. Can't have that because that's a state and a state. Can't have states and states. Okay, cool. Right. Ratification, Article 5, the Congress. Article 6, all debts and stuff like that. Wow. And then we have the amendments. Holy shit, this is not actually... We actually don't have a single a single thing in here about making the government small. That's so fucking weird. Huh. Wow, how odd. How odd. Not a single section of the Constitution says small government. Okay, buddy. Cool. Dave, are we going to agree again?
You serious?
But as government has gotten ever larger, many of these non-governmental groups have dwindled in number or simply disappeared.
Oh, God. The downfall of the Western civilization is that not many people join bowling leagues anymore. Fuck.
What in the actual hell does declining membership in Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, church attendance, Lions Club membership, book clubs, and music societies, or whatever the fuck else he rambled off, have to do with the growing size of government? And again, Dennis Prager, I would like to point out that the government grew plenty under even the most conservative of presidents.
Why is Dave capable of being based? Dave is doing a good job. It's not going to last, but we must give him credit where it's due. Good job, Dave! I love you. That's the Dave song. Shh.
Another set of values is referred to as middle class or bourgeois values. These include getting married before having a child, making a family, getting a job, self-discipline, delayed gratification, and patriotism.
Dave did it? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Delayed gratification. Middle class bourgeois value. He literally called it the bourgeois. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Let me. I just have to. Okay, that's weird. I was trying to look this up in the Constitution. Huh. And all I found about this, strangely, was that I don't really know what that means. That's weird. I didn't know. Maybe there's something in the. No, it doesn't say anything about fancy men with interesting contraptions in here. Huh. No, I don't. Maybe this is excessive bail? Huh. No, I don't know. It's really unknowable. It's really unknowable. I'm here for the Dave song and hereby petition that it be a charity single for all the all-time greatest band, Sex Abacus, with all proceeds going to support the Save Dave effort. True. Yeah, I don't know. No idea what any of this means.
All of these have been under attack by America's elites with the following results.
This is why Dennis Prager drives me fucking nuts. He's as bad as a goddamn feminist or vegan.
Oh. Bad as a feminist or a vegan. You see, I told you he wasn't going to stay based forever, chat. It's okay. Dave is capable. We'll get there.
He's saying, live the life I tell you to live, for my prescribed lifestyle is the best.
I agree with that. Dave. I agree 100%. Except feminists don't say that. Feminism doesn't say that, Dave. So you may have encountered some people that call themselves feminists that do that. In I would say vegans, I mean, they're making an ethical argument about the reduction of harm, and I agree with vegans, but I'm not vegan. You know what I mean? It's not as compelling to me, and it's probably not very compelling to you. So let's level with the vegans, okay? I think intellectually we can say that it is less ethical to kill an animal than not to kill an animal, right? Wouldn't you agree, Dave? Anyway, so that's the vegan argument. So let's talk about feminism. Feminist does not say you need to act a certain way or you need to live a certain lifestyle. In fact, feminist theory says specifically, like if you want to go be a woman that is a high level CEO, let's say, You can go be a high-level CEO. Go do that, okay? The idea here is that your gender doesn't have anything to do with your success. It just has to do, or lack thereof, usually. It shouldn't really play much of a role. The idea is that the role it plays is that it informs your life experiences, and hopefully your life experiences help you with whatever endeavor you undertake. It also says, at the same time, if you don't want to do that, if you want to be a fucking mom that has a nuclear family, or you want to have a quiver full, like go for that too. That's fine too. It's totally valid to go the other way and be a homemaker or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no prescription of life that feminists say. The arguments of feminist theory are basically like ethical ones. Like, is it ethical to judge someone's capabilities based on their gender? No, obviously, right? It's based on their ability to do X, Y, or Z. So, like, for instance, is LeBron James good at basketball because he's a man? No. However, is he blessed with a certain physicality? Well, less blessed and more just like, did he win the genetic lottery and sort of, he's a 6'8", 250-pound super monster, and he puts a lot of work in, but I mean, you can't teach being 6'8", right? So, like, yeah, there's a little bit of that too. There's a little bit of a genetic lottery that goes on with a lot of people, and that's fine. I mean, some people are born with a beautiful bone structure, okay? Perfect eyes, straight teeth, no braces, and looks good in a corn suit, and other people look like Dennis Prager. And that's fine. You know, not all of us can win. Okay? But anyway, to claim that feminism is, or veganism for that matter, are prescriptive in the way you should live life is really just bullshit. And you don't really understand it. And that's okay, because I'd love to make you understand or have you understand it. I think that'd be fantastic.
The majority of births to millennials are to unmarried women.
Oh, no, not unmarried women. I'm actually having a good time here. Unlike most streams, eat more of my bits, father. Unlike most streams. You mean other people's streams? Yeah, because, of course, hurt Musker Twad, you would have a good time here because it's delicious here, okay? We butter you up, okay? You got kernels and cobbies all over the place. We got positivity, all right? That's what this shit's about, all right? We get some yellies, okay? We get our yellies out, all right? But oh yeah, we're here for we're all on the same team in chat, all right?
Yet according to a 2018 Cigna study, single parents are generally the loneliest of Americans.
Do you think maybe it's because man, this is a systemic problem too. Single parents, okay. Big problem with pregnancies outside of wedlock. Here goes. Poverty. What are you going to do if you're in poverty and there's not a lot of things that make you feel good? Fucking definitely makes some people feel good for a limited amount of time. People that are poor have more sex. That's a fact. They're less busy. They tend to be less busy, not all the time. Students are a very busy version of this, but their hormones are going bananas, so they find time to fuck too. But poor people, I mean, you're not going on like fucking vacation and shit. Okay, poor people fuck more often. This idea that rich people fuck all the time is not a thing. Another thing is poor people tend to be less educated, and that it's not their fault. It is a systemic problem it's a feedback loop. Because you come from a poor community, typically, it's very rare that you have a middle or upper class person that falls into poverty. It happens, but it's rare, and usually those are like we make movies out of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, we have stories about that. There are more stories about the rags to riches coming up, and there's a reason, because that appeals to more people. It's very similar to Christianity and how that got popular. The propaganda of America mirrored from the Christian myth in regards to how it spread across the European nations is actually really fascinating, and you could probably get a PhD off of that. But maybe I'm saving it for me. So if you look at not just the systemic issue of poverty, right, but education that feeds into poverty. If you have a lack of education, typically you're not going to have a good sex education. If you don't have a good sex education, you're not going to necessarily be able to mitigate pregnancy in the same way someone with a quality sex education or not even just that, maybe just the monetary means to obtain prophylactics or get Plan B, which, I mean, it's like $30 for Plan B, but when I was poor, I didn't have $30. Like, there's a lot of people who don't have $30 just hanging around. This is not a little bit amount of money. $30 is a lot of fun. Sometimes that's a week of food for people. You know what I mean? Like, and I know a lot of you do know that. This is wild. And lastly, and I think this is very important, is America is not great with consent, and there's a lot of people that don't know that they have consent that they can give or revoke. Many people feel obligated to carry out with sex, even if that's not a thing they necessarily want to do. And so that contributes a lot to pregnancies as well, and single parenting. So I'm just tossing that out there. Plan B is like $60 where I am. I've only gotten it a couple times. Maybe it's $60. I don't know. I don't have $30 and I won't get more money until the 1st. Yeah, exactly. Luckily, that's only seven days from now. But shit. 2 weeks of groceries on $30? Well, for one person, that's amazing. Wowzers. Especially today. That's amazing. You're doing a good job.
Okay, that's more of a case for why feminism sucks. Men have every reason in the universe not to get married.
Wait, what? Why is he blaming feminism for this? A girl I used to work with just became a single mom a month before her 18th. Her mom is an addict in jail, and I feel kind of sorry for her. She's also poor. Yeah, that's just going to continue to feed back into itself until we address the reasons that people get poor. And most of it has to do with lack of education, lack of upward mobility, because of stagnating wages and the fact that we use property taxes to pay for education. I mean, it's just we bang this drum all the time. Someone will listen eventually. So I want to know his. Wait. He's not gonna. Okay. He's not gonna explain why feminism is bad because men don't have incentive to get married. Okay. I don't really know what that means. Dave sounded real dumb there.
The percentage of American adults who have never been married and who have no children is at an historic high.
This happens with developed countries. This is normal for people to. So part of getting married again is an economic thing. If you it's funny because you either need to be middle class to solidify a more monetarily beneficial relationship, right? Because you get a little tax subsidies. The ownership of things helps a little bit, and of course you can combine your incomes in a way that you can file taxes together, and you save money. The other thing that's interesting is you need a certain amount of money to even get married in the first place, and the lower class is getting further and further away from that division. So yeah, you're gonna lose that, and then when you have a bunch of money, the incentive to get married is super low because of the divorce rates, because because people have decided that they have agency and can and you don't have to stay with someone forever. Like you could just not. So the institution of marriage in itself, in the way that like only the man can make the money and the woman has to get married so she can have financial well-being, this is fading because not only the men can make money. This is a good thing. This is freedom. Marriage rates can be low, but people tend to be like you could be happy in a long-term relationship without putting a ring on it. I'm just tossing that out there.
So bloody fucking what? I have zero interest in becoming a dad. Should I have a kid that I have no desire to have? Just because the great Dennis Prager says my life would be so much fucking better with it? Wouldn't it be more responsible for me not to have kids if I don't want them?
Yes.
No. I should live the fucking life that some guy who's in his fucking 80s is telling me to live.
Then there's patriotism. Until the 1960s, Americans grew up loving their country, admiring the founders, and believing in America's values, most especially liberty.
Bro, you do not value liberty. Can we talk about all the ways that PragerU and conservatives in general do not value liberty? Let's start real easy. religion. Nope, he thinks you should be religious. Okay, if you're an atheist, you're blackballed by most people that are on the right. You can't even not believe the thing they believe without evidence, of course. You can't even do that. Let's move on. Do you think it's very libertist? Do you think you have a lot more liberty when you have no fucking money because the wages have stagnated? Do you feel as though you have more liberty when you're stuck in your house because someone has mismanaged a global pandemic? Do you feel as though you have more liberty when you have to spend hundreds of dollars a month to have insurance that may or may not cover an ailment that you can get treated at a very select number of medical offices and professionals? And if you happen to have an emergency and they take you to the wrong place that isn't within your network, you'll get charged even more. Do you think that's liberty? Do you think it's liberty to go to a public school that has to keep their books bound by fucking duct tape to make sure that people can read it in overcrowded classrooms that are paid for by the poor property taxes of the area? Do you think it's adds to your liberty to be funneled into a fucking shithole school? Do you think it's liberty that you need to have a certain amount of money to pursue higher education? Is that liberty? Is it liberty to not be able to choose which drugs I put into my own body? What? Where does the liberty begin for right-wingers? I can assure you, if you think guns is the answer, I've got some comrades in Seattle that would like to say a couple words about gun ownership on the left to you, because I can assure you gun ownership is no longer a far right-wing talking point. You've pushed it enough to where the lefties are gonna want their guns, my friend. Okay? Where is the liberty? Where does the liberty begin? Oh, the liberty... You mentioned, of course, loving the founding fathers, Dennis Prager. Interesting. What about the liberty to understand history from a non-American centric viewpoint? Do I have the liberty to do so? What about the liberty to get taught about racism and systemic racism in America due to the fact that we had chattel slavery for hundreds of years? What about the liberty to be taught about how we mistreated literally all of the First Nations peoples in North America between the United States and Canada? I mean, not to mention Central and South America either. What do we have the liberty to do any of those things? Or are you against those things? Ought we only live the way you want? Do you think being told the way to live is in fact liberty, Dennis? Is that liberty? I'm interested. Rat Pappy, thanks so much for the 4 months. I appreciate you. Tim Neer, thanks for the Prime. Loving the founding fathers seems kind of gay, just saying. And being gay is based, okay? Even though I'm a dirty straight.
Americans did not ignore the bad parts of their history, but they were wise enough to recognize that what made America exceptional was not its flaws, which were all universal, but its virtues, which were not.
Okay, so America's flaws are universal. What are its flaws, Dennis? Are its flaws always having a lower class to be downtrodden and stepped upon? Thanks, Squid. Is a flaw maybe imperialism? Is a flaw maybe racism? Is a flaw maybe highly militarized police that don't protect and serve, but rather subjugate and are incentivized to imprison people, often of a certain demographic, in order to make money in private prisons and extend the budgets of their police departments due to bail? You think that might be it? Okay. All right.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
The guy who delivered this did a great job in Billy Madison, but it is overused. This is overused. Yes. Yeah, you agree with me, see?
This strong American identity provided generations of Americans with roots, community, optimism, and meaning.
The strong American identity provided generations of Americans with roots, community, optimism, and meaning. It's interesting how if you ask a black person this, how often they'll disagree with you. It's very interesting if you ask a non-white man, what do you think? What do you think strong American identity has provided you? Do you think they'd say roots, community, optimism, and meaning? I feel like they'd say the American identity, like the identity of America, has provided non-white, non-male, not non-man individuals who are non-straight and non-rich. I'd say if you're not a rich white man that is straight, you are subjugated in a myriad of ways that this video just does not have time for. Roots? What kind of roots do you have as a descendant of a person who was forced to work fields for someone who looks like me? What sense of community do you have during segregation? What optimism do you have when you kill their civil rights leaders? And what meaning do you provide with American people when you constantly throw their sons and daughters into the meat grinder of imperialist war for $1 so you can make some money off of oil? This is the fucking American dream, Dennis? Wow. Great job. Fantastic job.
Did you forget about a little incident that happened about, the mid-19th century? I don't think we were particularly united at that point.
Civil War is a great example.
Which brings me to the most important reason for all this unhappiness, a lack of meaning.
What?
As Viktor Frankl, the renowned Austrian-American psychoanalyst, wrote in his masterpiece, Man's Search for Meaning,
okay,
aside from food, the greatest human need is meaning.
Okay.
And nothing has given Americans, or any other people for that matter, as much meaning as religion.
Boy. You know what would give me a lot of fucking meaning, chat? You know what would give me a lot of meaning in life? To know that every single person who steps foot on American soil, okay, who wants to have a life here, okay, every single American person, whether you can speak English, whether you're white or brown or whatever, whether you're gay or you're trans or you're fucking, I don't give a shit what your demographic is. Maybe you can't even step. Maybe you don't have legs. I don't care. Just existing in America. Not even a citizen. Existing in America in any capacity. What would give me meaning is if you had the right to housing, to food, to education, to basic needs like the internet, safety, and frankly, probably fucking UBI. Like, these are the things that give me meaning. The things that give me meaning are making sure that our shortly lived experience of this cosmic lottery we call life is improved to a point where survival is no longer the goal. We are past the point where human beings ought to be striving for survival. We can provide survival for everyone. We can't provide thriving for anyone. We can provide the opportunity to thrive. We're not there yet. Eventually, maybe we can thrive, every single person. We're not there yet. What we can do is we can be like, hey, if you have an interest in whatever, doesn't matter, science, some sort of science thing, just because you're poor or you're black, or you're gay, or you're trans, or you can barely speak English, doesn't mean that we won't give you avenues to try to learn how to hone that passion. That's what gives me meaning. That's what we should be fucking going for. Survival, we've beaten it. We won the survival game. We're no longer in need of survival. Why do we force people to survive when we do not need to? Do we just like watching people fail at surviving? Not everybody's equipped to survive. It's not reasonable, it's not ethical, and it certainly doesn't make America look great. We could fix this with $20 billion. Jeff Bezos would have $200 billion left over. And I don't even think it's his responsibility. I think it's the American government's responsibility. Jesus Christ. All right. Fucking religion, man. Fucking religion. Dave's not going to be happy about this either.
It's also the leading source of a lot of pain, a lot of misery, and a lot of wars.
Agreed.
But in the West, since World War II, God and religion have been relegated to the dustbin of history.
Something like over 70% of the fucking country is Christian. What the hell are you talking about?
True. They're losing numbers, and that's what they're talking about, really, here. Let's see. Religion in U.S. Let's just talk about that. It is now 65% of the adult population. If we look at that, let's see. No religion. This is a 2001 though. I don't know. Believe in the existence of God. 2004 Pew Research. 63% of Americans believed in God and were absolutely certain of the view, and the figure rose to 89%, including those who are agnostic. I mean, we still have a terrible amount of people that think that God exists. It's hilarious. I will say though that a quarter of all people are unaffiliated. I'm just tossing that out there. That's not a bad number in the United States. We're on our way up, and I guarantee that number is getting closer and closer to like 40% if you just like get more broad and involve like the younger generation and stuff.
The result is that more than a third of Americans born after 1980 affiliate with no religion.
More than a third, what I say. I was born after 1980. How about you? Laura Cringe is actually secretly a super Jake fan. Specifically does video for Jake Senpai. Notices him. I'd read that manga. Wow. That is quite the take. I don't think so.
This is unprecedented in American history, and it's even worse in Europe.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Maybe, just maybe, the decline of Protestantism, Catholicism, and Judaism, those great providers of meaning, is the single biggest factor in the increasing sadness and loneliness among so many young people in America and around the world.
No, it's literally because of all the other things I said. That you literally said like they're worried about their future. They're not worried about their fucking soul. You just said they're not religious already. Do you think if they gained religious belief and they became added to their list of worries their soul? Do you think the eternal abyss wouldn't be a on the con list or what? Come on, bro. Let's see what Dave says.
But maybe, just fucking maybe, it's not a lack of belief in the invisible man in the sky. It has more to do with the rise of hookup culture, which is probably a factor.
Ah, incel Dave, boo! It's okay if you guys want to fuck. Everything's fine as long as you consent to fuck. That's the consent to fuck song.
Or what I think is the big factor is that parents coddle their kids and bubble wrap them so they never get hurt.
Dave, have you talked to another human being? Have you talked to like literally any other human being? God damn it, Dave. Every single time we think that we're going to save his ass, he says something fucking stupid. Just so goddamn stupid. Why does he do? Why do he do? Buddy. Coddling? When you say the word coddle, you mean supporting your child and being kind to them and giving them self-esteem and making sure that they understand that they are loved and like not hitting them. Like, that's not coddling. That's being a decent person to a human being who relies on you for a myriad of things when you're growing up. Parents should not be at odds with their children. Abuse your kids. Yeah, we should be compassionate to one another. And spreading that around is a good thing, Dave. I have compassion for you. I want you to be okay. I want you, Dave, to come out of this interaction that we're having, this long extended interaction. I want you to come out of this better. I want you to be a more reasonable, more happy fella. News alert, hurting kids doesn't actually help them. Loving kids helps them. Uh-oh. Like... And hookup culture? What? I don't think anyone's mad that they get to fuck. Are you guys pissed off that you fuck? The fact that we're making shit less like severe and more casual is a good thing. Like taking the stakes out of it, taking the stigma out of having sex with somebody. That's super good. Like it doesn't have to be this fucking like marriage proposal. You can just be attracted to somebody. That's fine. Accepting the fact that you're attracted to somebody, obtaining consent, giving consent, and everybody involved being happy with the interaction is ideal. That's like what we want. If at some point feelings develop and you guys want to continue to something else, that's cool too. That's great. But hookup culture, like Tinder existing, Grindr happening, these are not things that are crushing the world. People fucking is a good thing. Like some people want to fuck, man. That's fine. If you're upset that you can't find someone to fuck, I guarantee you, Dave, it's not because you look like you. It's because you act like you. There's someone out there for you. There's someone that finds you sexy as fuck visually, and then when you open your goddamn mouth, they're like, oh my fucking god, dude. I need to not sex you, that's for sure.
So they never learn any confidence to go up to a new person.
Do you have confidence to go up to a new person, Dave? Come on, man. Do you have confidence to go up to another human being and talk to them like no, come on. I do not believe that you have it. If you do, I'm very happy for you. I do not believe you do have that. I don't believe it at all. And I don't believe that you being told that you're a bag of shit by your parents helps you have the self-confidence to do that. Do you? Do you think being told that you're a bag of shit your whole life would contribute to having the self-worth, the self-esteem to confidently walk up to another human being and be like, hey, I'm sexually interested in you? Like, come on, man. Harry Eddie, thanks so much for the 6 months. Like, I don't know if you guys might not understand this. I get solicited pretty regularly by a lot of people, right? And sure, it makes me feel good a little bit, but I don't like take them up on every other offer, man. Like, this is, and even the point is, in saying that, I come from a background where like my dad was not super fucking nice to me. He agrees with you about this coddling shit. He thinks that being mean to somebody prepares them for life. I don't have like I still have doubts in my head. I've been in bed with 2 women at the same time and thought, I'm an imposter. Like, that's not healthy. And I understand that. And I try not to feed into that and stuff. Like, that's the kind of shit that happens when you have that mentality. When you're like, holy fucking shit. Like, I'm a dog shit. You shouldn't have that. You should have self-esteem. And I hope that you do have self-esteem at some point. Like, holy shit, man. It's just fucking wild. It's just, I don't know. I don't even know how to continue talking to this fucking guy when he has this kind of take. I hate that.
And for young men in particular, they've been beaten into their heads by every feminist fucking teacher and professor they've ever had that if a man so much as says hi to a woman, it's on the same level as raping her.
It isn't. It isn't that. That's not the case. Jesus fuck, dude. Holy shit. No, you can talk to like you just have to have rapport with them. You can't be like, "Hey, sugar tits, want to knock my balls around?" Like what? Oh. Owlboy, thanks for the 60 months. Did you know that asking for cock and ball torture is not like the way to talk to people? Like all you got to do is here's the thing. Unless you're doing like a hookup, you said hookup culture is bad, so you're not looking for a Tinder thing or whatever. Which at that point it's understood. I am looking to fuck. Would you like to fuck? The answer is yes, and then you fuck. You're not looking for that, okay? You're looking for something else. That's fine. That's fantastic. I'm okay with the fact that you don't want to just hook up with people. You don't have to be a coomer. That's okay. All right. Want to cloom toots? God damn you. Don't ask if they want to cloom either. So the way to talk to somebody and to forge a relationship that may end up sexually, here's the trick, chat. Here's the trick. You guys want to know the trick? Interact with them like they're a human being. Holy shit. Holy shit. Did you... What? Hey. Interact with someone as if they are a human being? That's the trick. That's how you get fuck. If you want some fuck, human being. And then... Another thing is, okay, you gotta, I mean, if you're feeling a feeling, you express that, okay? You express it. You don't just let it sit there and you don't be the nice guy and you don't get friend zoned and all that shit like that. Like, but also you have to understand that putting yourself in that position, you can get rejected. Here's the thing. Rejection's fine. Nobody has to love you. Nobody has to love you. People will, though. That's the thing, because you're probably a fine person. Whoever this is. Why would you say something so controversial? So here's the thing. I've never been turned down, but I don't put myself out there a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not over here like, I love you. No, you fucking wait, and you make sure that you actually like a person. And then you go, and if you forge a relationship with someone, the odds of you being shut down are pretty low. They're pretty fucking low. I have worried about rejection a million times, especially as a kid, when you're navigating that kind of life and your hormones are going bonkers and you're like, wow, it'd be really embarrassing if all my friends knew I liked a girl and she didn't like me back. Why? Why do we care about that? I wish I could go back to high school and just like tell that kid that kid, like, hey, buddy, Jake, you're people like you. People like you, and it's okay. It's okay to be liked, and it's okay not to be liked. This is the type of shit we need to stop worrying about, Dave. And you're still trapped in this sort of mentality that, again, if you care about a thing, you worry about failing. This is the problem, Dave. I'll help you right now. You can care about a thing and fail and still be a valid person. If you were just genuine with another person, I have rejected other people, and someone's mentioned that I never rejected threesomes. Yes, I have. So I am more Chad than you, obviously. So here's the thing. Spoon God Spoon, thanks so much for following. Just another person that exists. If you like that person, and like they like you can tell if someone likes you. You can tell they like you because they'll text you to hang out, they'll want to spend time together, or they'll seek out your attention. They'll be like, "Hey man, what's up? What's going on?" Like it might be totally platonic. It might be platonic, and that's fine. But if you have feelings for somebody, if you're just really honest about it, if you're like, and I don't know the situation, but like, just be like, do you think it'd be fun if we like hung out? Like, I think that'd be fun. I would have a really good time if we spent time together. You know, that's pretty much all it takes. Just dipping a toe in it. You can be vague and be like, yeah, cool, that'd be fun. and do that. And then like it's not like Chad Jake over here always nails it. No, I've had situations where like I look back and I totally fucking blew it. You know what I mean? Like I'm so bad at picking up if people are attracted to me, dude. Believe me, I'm not over here being the paragon of fucking like of like nailing this shit with human beings interactions. I kind of literally need to be told I am sexually attracted to you. And maybe not exactly that way, but you gotta like really, really more than intimate it. I am so oblivious to this kind of shit. This happened not too long ago, 6 months ago or something. I was very flattered. It's a friend of mine. She's fantastic. And she's like, hey, so you know. And I'm like, well, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And we talked a little bit, about it. And I was just like, wow, I was so fucking blind. I didn't know that was happening. And this has happened in the past before. I've had God, I was in my early 20s. God, I still... I'm so stupid. She literally came over and hung out on my bed, chat. I didn't do anything. I just thought we were hanging out and being platonic friends. I didn't fucking think about that. So don't get me wrong. Your boy is not perfect over here. I fucking blew it many times. Okay? Fair. Okay. Hey. Furia, I appreciate it, but you kind of you're a little attracted to everybody, okay? Apologies if I don't feel particularly special when you say I am a fucking moron. Once again, asking neurotypicals to say what they mean. Yeah, exactly. I legit did not know my hubs was into me for over a decade until he told me bluntly and called me an idiot. Yeah. So, yeah. So if you're asexual, that's fine too. But like, I've fucked that up. I mean, there's so many, we'll call it sexual opportunities in my past that I just totally like fucking evaporated. And not necessarily in a meaningful way, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we would have stuck together. I don't think life would have changed drastically. I think it would have been one cool day or a couple cool days or something. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, it's okay to fuck up. And it's okay to recognize that shit. Dave is very scared to fuck up.
A 2016 study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA Psychiatry, found that American women who attended a religious service at least once a week were 5 times less likely to commit suicide.
Okay, but that's not because they're happier. You're less likely to commit suicide if you're religious because you think you go to eternal damnation, not because it fulfills you. What?
And common sense suggests this applies to men as well.
Now,
Okay.
if Dennis Prager is right, then why, in the 1950s, when I'm assuming he's thinking everything's all hunky-dory and wonderful and leave it to fucking Beaverville,
He's gonna bring facts.
the suicide rate was about 21.2.
That's 4-1 roughly.
For males and 5.6 for females. And in 2018 or 2017, it's 22.4 for males and 6.1 for females. It is
4 to
not
1 roughly.
that much higher. So seems your point's kind of bullshit. The suicide rate in this country has been pretty much consistently where it's always
What's
been.
this spike? What was that spike,
Young people
Chad?
have been told God is nonsense, their country is essentially evil, their past is deplorable, their future is bleak.
Well, maybe the fact is that they thought about the whole God thing and just came to a different conclusion than you do.
True.
Without any evidence, to me, God is nonsense. I know my country is not evil. There's some bad shit in our past, but that was a long fucking time ago. The group that you're talking about are the Screeching Harpies on Twitter.
Screeching harpies?
Okay? Dennis, much like I try to tell the Bernie bros, Twitter ain't real life.
It's interesting when we say something like Twitter ain't real life. Real people are doing stuff on Twitter. And I know it's not like it's a little less serious in life, or sometimes it's more serious, like it's melodrama. But like real people exist.
and marriage and children are not important.
Nobody says that except for fat, disgusting women's studies professors who men would rather run their dick through a meat grinder than stick into them.
Dave, you said marriage and children are important to yourself. You said that out loud. What? What? Dave, you said this. Are you that? I guess you're a fat women's studies professor, Dave. Wowzers.
Why are so many young people depressed, unhappy, and angry? It's not capitalism or income inequality.
It 100% is.
Patriarchy.
It's literally those things. When you ask those people, it's those things.
Or even global warming.
It's all of those things.
It's having no religion, no God, and no country to believe in.
Oh. Dave, how do you think you could fix the last one? No religion, no God. Okay, that's going to solve itself. No country to believe in. Why do you think people don't believe in the country, Dave? Could it have anything to do with those things you listed that you say aren't the problem? God, you're fucking dumb. He's so fucking dumb, chat. Oh, he's so stupid.
Yeah. Whatever, Dennis. Of course, God, a healthy dose of God will just magically fix everything. Yeah, you knew what joke I was going to end it on.
All right, let's wrap this up with a little bit of happiness, okay? I have faith in you, Dave. I have faith in you. You're gonna come around at some point, okay? Because this is unsustainable. You're unhappy for the sake of it. You're mad because you feel like if you're happy, it'll fall away. And then you'll be, instead of fake mad, genuinely mad or sad. Just be okay, man. Be okay to open up. We need to save Dave. It's okay, chat. It's okay to feel stuff. You're the only dude I know who makes his girl scream when she's in the other room. True. I just what we need here. God fucking damn it, she's just hilarious. Has he improved? A little bit, I suppose. We need a core intervention for Dave, is what I think. I think it might be time eventually to break the seal, Dave. I stream on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings when I do Trash Dave. I want you to show up in my chat, okay? Because I know you're going to watch this at some point. I want you to show up in my chat, okay? Talk to me. We'll get you on here, and we'll have a discussion, okay? Because I think you value liberty, and I think you value some shit that you don't want to admit you value. Like being kind to one another. I think that you're actually capable of being a really fucking dope person. And I'm not going to lose hope on you, Dave. Except when it comes to cooking your trash. Smash the corn button.